Yo, what's good? It's your boy Glory, and I am here with.
Vex.
And Rebel.
All right. So I'm kind of excited about this because I had to call reinforcements to help me come up with some questions.
Exactly.
So the first thing I want to ask is who introduced y'all to AR-73?
So I was actually just on solo a couple of years ago on Modern Warfare on Petrov Oil Rig, and I came across Chooch, Fink, Data, uh, DJ, which is Daddy Darkness, um, and I destroyed them pretty much. And it wasn't like an intentional thing; it's just how I am. Um, I dropped almost a 20 bomb on them, and they were cool. Like they didn't say anything. Um, at the end of the game, it was both Chooch and Fink. They both had reached out to me right before the game ended, and they said they're going to invite me to a party, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And we talked for like 10 minutes before we played the next game, and they asked if I wanted to join the Reg, and I was like, kind of skeptical about it, just for the simple fact of how most regiments are and clans are, so you're not sure how they really are.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll go for it. I mean, my last two regiments I was in ASM, which is Angel Society Militia, and that one ended bad. And before that, I was in XGC, which Fink knows that one. And so that's just how I came across them, and then I've been here ever since.
Nice. What about you, Rebel?
Because of Vex.
Because of X, yeah.
You talked about the regiment, and I would play with him off of his account whenever I'd come over on the weekends. And then Chooch loved me. Fink loved me. Debbie loved me. And then we all just kind of like became friends, and then I got into the regiment.
Yeah. See, I remember when Rebel came in. I was so excited for Mama Majestic and Devi. I was like, yay, they finally have another female.
Yeah, and then shortly after, a couple other females joined in, and then now they're gone.
Well, it's okay now. You got the OGs.
You do. And that was the thing too, because I would reach out to her with just to get an unbiased opinion on certain things when we would have issues we'd have to discuss. Mm-hmm. And like what Chooch does with Mama Chooch, he never had a problem with it because he prefers unbiased opinions.
Yep.
So I would tell her, I was like, hey, so I have something I want to ask. And she'd be like, oh, great. I don't know regiment stuff. And I'm like, it's not regiment stuff. I'd explain to her the situation, and she'd come up with an unbiased opinion. And I'm like, you know what?
And that's when Chooch really wanted me to join the regiment to become secretary. Mm-hmm. And then he just kept moving me up to other stuff.
Yeah. Nah, it's, I told Chooch about that too when he told me about Mama Chooch, like, being, the person to do that. And it interested me because, you're not a part of it a lot. And when situations do come about, with like other members or a situation came up, you would go to like Mama Chooch. Now we have you and Mama Chooch still, and just other people. But when you came in, I'm not gonna lie, you were moving up really quick.
She was, and that was because just of how much Chooch and Fink appreciated what she was doing.
And how nice. Even if I'm friends with somebody, I'm still gonna call them out on their bullshit.
Yep.
She does.
I saw it firsthand.
We will too.
Yep.
Don't matter if we're friends for 12 years or 2 minutes. I'm still gonna call you out.
Yep. Hey, I respect it. I do. All right. So the next question would be, how long have y'all been in AR-73?
For me, it will be 2 years, and 2 years in October.
Wow.
7 months.
7 months.
From.
Man. Hey, my 1 year's
Damn.
coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Man.
Yeah, October will be.
Like officially, it was 7 months, but I'd say almost a year since I've been known to the regiment.
Yeah, 7 months for you, and then year for Glory, and then 2 years for me, because it was in October, middle of October when it happened. So yeah,
Man.
right at 2 years.
And, with that question, from the people you've met to, the things that you've witnessed, during your 2 years in the regiment, how have you yourself seen the regiment grow, and where do you see it going to in, we'll say, 2 years?
I could see us getting bigger, with all the stuff we're doing with the CBs
Mhm.
and some other possible stuff coming up. I could see us being a lot bigger. Some of our members are a force to be reckoned with, and we have good standings with people. Yeah, sure, the people we go against CBs, when they get, pooped on, they don't really have respect for us because we just kind of came out of the blue.
Yeah.
We have good standings with Doc,
Mhm.
and that's one of the better clans that I've seen that actually have their stuff together for CBs and know how to run CBs.
Mhm.
So we all have the utmost respect for them, and that's where I want to see us, is once we actually get the hang of things, how to do call outs, how to actually react in certain situations, because all we really do is play pubs.
Mhm.
And during pubs, it's kind of every man for himself. Yeah, call outs here and there, but
Gotta have a better communication.
gotta have a better communication. And one thing as being a Siege player is map knowledge.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
we, sure, I'd say on a percentage basis, I'd say most of us know the maps 65% or more.
Mhm.
I would like us to see these maps 100%.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? Tuscan. Yeah, everybody knows Grandma's house.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the well. Everybody knows top and bottom church. Everybody has, it's not called graveyard. It's called relic, but we all call it graveyard
Or cemetery.
or cemetery. But then we go to sub pens, and then it's like their top sub, bottom sub. They're on the B ledge. Our side, their side. It's the inner ledge or outer ledge, and it's hard to kind of communicate that through people. And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not saying anything bad. It's just we've got to get more indirect with our call-outs, and we're working on that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I could see us being another force to be reckoned with in CBs.
Pay attention to who's with you, because I know a lot of us run together.
Yep.
So, like, on Red Star, if you know 3 people are in A, you should say, hey, so-and-so, like, they're behind you, they're going up towards bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, pay attention to who's actually with you so you can actually give a better call.
And that's another thing, too. That's just one of my things, and I know a lot of players do it, too, is let's use Red Star again. We're on the defense side. I'll run up the sandbags. Toby, he'll run with me to sandbags, and we'll swap out. If he jumps on the sandbags, I'll cover train side. If he gets shot, and he doesn't call it out right away, I see on kill feed, I know he was shot somewhere up top A or somewhere in mid.
Yep.
Possibly apartments, but that gives me a chance to know where he actually died from and who was with me. So if we can, that's one of the biggest things too. If somebody runs the same route as you, always watch kill feed or try to make that call out quick. Another one too is we got to learn how to mute the other team for call out.
Yes.
That's one of the biggest things, because if somebody shoots me on Red Star and I'm not muted and I tell Rebel, hey, their train star pushing in the B, they're gonna wrap around and wait for you to go there. Then they're gonna flank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to do. Yeah, sure, we'd like to hear what everybody says, but at the end of the day, I'm not worried about what the enemy team says. I'm worried about what my team says.
And don't post your Twitch while you're in the game with those
Yeah,
people
that's
that
one
you're
thing
playing.
too. Is I get your people are trying to raise their Twitch. I have nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But wait until after the game to do it, because if you post it and you're streaming, instant stream snipe right there.
Yep. Especially
And
for
pay
like for Silent and Hanukkah, because they don't have a delay in their stream. So like it's real time. Like if Silent's over at B, there's not a 10-second, 5-second delay. Like he's on B right now, and
Yep.
that's kind of what I told Silent too. But so sort of in the same with that. I can see that your knowledge with callouts is really good. So, have you tried talking to like Data or Jesus about putting your input into helping with CBs? Because that
I've
right
tried
there is a whole
I've
game
tried-
changer.
Yeah, I have tried that,
Hmm.
but as much as I love them, they have their own way of doing things,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'll watch some of the CBs here and there, and some of the callouts, it's a hit or miss.
Hmm.
Now, sure, if it's something simple like, hey, they're at well right now, I go check well, boom, there they are. Hey, they're in grandma's house. Okay, so if they're in grandma's house, what part? Top, bottom, in the corner by the chalkboard, or are they closer to our side behind the shutter,
Hmm.
like near stairway?
Yep.
Granted, if we mute the other team, you can give a whole lot better call out than just a 5-second one. Give that person, like I just said before, a chance to reroute.
Hmm.
I've kind of explained to them a little bit. Nin doesn't really have a problem with it because he wants better call outs. Data is just kind of like up in the air on certain things. You got to catch him on a good day,
Yeah.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. I get it. And one thing from Call of Duty to Siege is what I learned is on Siege you get better people who do call outs than COD.
Mm.
Because Siege is more of a tactical play than a run and gun like COD is.
Unless if you have me playing.
Yeah, unless you have that. And another thing too is, I tried to express them, we have so many rushers, so many people that like to rush,
Yeah.
Especially when you're defending.
especially if we're defending. That is and I always tell people this, that is one of the biggest things. If we're actually kind of like the whole talking shit thing, if we're gonna talk shit, but you're gonna run and you're gonna get clapped within the first 3 seconds, you got to kind of calm down a little bit. I'm fine with being an anchor. I move at my own pace.
Hmm.
You can yell at me. You can tell me where they're at. That's fine. That gives me somewhere to look when I get to that spot.
Yeah.
Now, beginning of the game, yeah, sure, I'll rush up and try to catch them around corners and stuff. But as the game goes, I start slowing up and I start anchoring in certain spots. And I figure, with most of our CBs, people got to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And that's a very hard thing for certain people. And I'm not saying anything bad about anybody. It's what they're used to.
Hmm.
But, Glory, you're running out there and you're just getting clapped left and right. And next thing you know,
Last night.
it is now a 1v6 or a 2v6. That really weighs in their favor of how the game could go. Yeah, sure, I can clutch it, but at the same time, I shouldn't have to be the fallback guy.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I have nothing wrong with people rushing because I have seen how Han plays. That man can rush in a spawn and wipe out 3/3 of the team without a problem.
Hmm.
If you're comfortable with rushing and you know how to do it and keep them guessing, I don't have a problem with that. But if we're down, game's 5-5, and people are rushing while we're defending, that's the whole point of defending. You're not going to rush. You're not going to do anything. Sure, yeah, to beat somebody somewhere, that's fine if you're going to anchor and watch that spot.
Hmm.
But just straight up, just rushing because you want to win, that could turn bad really quick.
Oh yeah, it's just like me, because that's why I'm not a part of the CBs, because I like to have fun. I'm the type of guy that's gonna use the noob tube, just like last night. I was sitting there killing myself while I was killing people. It's just how it is.
And I get that, and like I said, I have nothing wrong with that. We all like to have fun.
And we
And-
don't really have the issue anymore of people trash talking while we're losing because we kind of got those people out of here.
Yeah, and like it's all like trash talk. It's all fun and games and stuff, and I get it. Everybody does it. We all have certain friends that we run into from other clans and just people we normally play with that we all know how we are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that friendly banter, but then sometimes it goes way further than that.
Yeah, that has also
And,
happened. Yeah.
So like I said, if we're gonna talk shit, man, we gotta back it up a little bit.
No, you're right. You're right. So more on the whole seeing where AR-73 is. Chooch, he's the master of getting us sponsors.
Yep, he is.
So my question would be, what kind of sponsors would y'all like AR-73 to have? I mean, it could be anything, because that's what he's trying to do.
Realistically, like people that we could have a shot with would be Corsair.
Yeah.
G Fuel. What's that capture card one?
Elgato?
Not Corsair, but not Alien either. Like some big ones, like who is it? Also Gaming Labs, the Gaming Lab chair company.
Mm-hmm.
They do sponsor some people. That would be a good one. All three of those would be a perfect one. But like it's all on like what they allow and stuff and how we have to show ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch a lot of streamers. There's one that I do follow almost religiously, and that's King George. King George was a Rainbow Six Siege champion back in the day, and he no longer does Pro League stuff. And he makes some good points on how if you're becoming a streamer, trying to get sponsored and stuff, you have to carry yourself a certain way once you get them. Mm-hmm. And then after a while, they're kind of more lenient with you. Like, he's sponsored by, like, 15 different companies. And some of them are just small ones. They're not even big ones.
Yeah.
But his biggest ones are G Fuel and Corsair.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just alone for those sponsorships, those two sponsors alone, he makes $30,000 just from them.
I wish.
So,
wow.
Plus his other ones, I mean, his revenue a month is over $200,000. God. And that's just from sponsors. That's not clowned. That's not including Twitch subs, all the bits and stuff you get. That in itself is another $400,000.
Yeah.
And then YouTube.
Yeah, then his YouTube stuff, like his clips that he posts on YouTube, he gets some revenue off that. But his biggest one is Twitch and sponsors.
Man.
But like, the biggest stream I've ever seen him had was almost 8,900 people.
8,900 people. Wow.
Yeah, that was a big stream, and he was getting some stuff off of that. But that's where I could that's what I'd like to see is Corsair, G Fuel, and Gaming Labs, or is it Secret Labs? I think it's Secret Labs. But those people are also some of the hardest to get onto.
Mm-hmm.
That would be us, dominating these CBs, then getting in the ranked plays and really trying to make a name for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to get seen by these people and try to get on their radar and stay on it. Then, when that happens, Chooch could reach out and be like, hey, do his spiel with them and then just go from there.
And also grow the streaming numbers and actually get more people in streaming.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, too, is as many people as we have streaming, they're going to check those. They're going to watch and see what everybody's doing, make sure there's nothing illegal or anything offensive in those streams, which they get cussing, they get, talking shit. That's 90% of the time, that's what viewers want to see, is the raging, the stuff like that. And sometimes the other ones, they just want to see you play. Like they just want to see how you do. Yeah, sure. You're not going to perform to your best sometimes, but some people are there just to talk and hang out.
Hmm.
Watching streamers is a form of escaping.
Yeah.
There's a lot of streamers out there that actually do care about their viewers. Then there's other ones that just straight up don't give a shit.
Hmm.
I have seen some of those streamers, and I'm like, how the hell do they have 200,000 followers and they just don't care?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. You know, talking about you know, the streamers, you know, some want to see you rage or some just want to see how good you are. A perfect example of that was actually your last stream that you did for Rainbow Six Siege, which was the one I was in because I wanted to watch how you played. Because I'm a big Rainbow Six Siege guy when I was on Xbox. I love the game, and no, I no longer have Xbox. So yeah, so I can see where you know how you were talking about it on how it would make someone feel, right? Because I watched you play and I was like, damn, this guy's pretty good. Wow. And then it just clicked, you know, when you and Dark Soul were talking about the, you know, making up the Rainbow Six Siege team. I think that would be a really good idea.
And it would, and I love Dark Soul.
Hmm.
Um, that man, he's really good at Warzone. I'm not, but when me and him get on Siege on Xbox, as much as me and him have played together, me and him know how to run the board with certain things.
Yeah.
Um, so, and he has some pretty good friends on Siege too. And like I said, if we could get a Siege team together, and this was one thing too, I'm going back to King George here.
Hmm.
If we do get a Siege team and we do all of these, I was literally just telling Rebel this last night.
Yeah.
If we were to get seen by a higher up for MLG Gaming or whatever it is, Pro League now, the chances of us getting it are less than 1%.
Hmm.
Being actually getting in is the less than 1%. Actually being on the team for Pro League and being sponsored is less than 0.5%.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, KG was saying. He's like, you can spend your whole life training and preparing for it, and you guys could be the best on the team and still not get in. It's so hard to do it because they have thousands and thousands of people that do these free sign-up tournaments.
Hmm.
And you've really got to show out for it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Pro League these days is more of a what's the word? Entertainment kind of thing. They're not looking for actual skill.
Yeah.
They're looking for people that can entertain others, that pull off stupid stuff. You know, back in the day, who was it? It was FaZe.
Hmm.
They knew how to run boards on people. They had great skills. Now these days,
No, it's just about
they're just
vlogging. It's all.
do what?
It's all about FaZe. They just care about, you know, vlogging and stuff like that. And
They're just looking for that entertainment aspect of, we don't really care if you win. We just want you to entertain the viewers.
yep.
I get that, but at the same time, I would rather see people win with the skill that they have acquired over decades of playing. And I had, you know, cool, yeah, back in the day, yeah, I followed FaZe.
Mhm.
Then they kind of just fell off because why? Nobody wanted to watch the skill. They wanted the entertainment.
Mhm.
Now they're getting all these other random people in FaZe that are just
They shouldn't
childish.
be there.
Yeah, they really shouldn't be there. Like, you know, that's what gaming is. It's all about having fun. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to get on to decimate everybody you run into.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's just not fun.
Mhm.
Be with your friends, have fun with your friends, and give a little challenge. And, you know, then if you have to, yeah, decimate some people just, you know, to kind of get it out there. But you're not going to do that 24/7.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. So I kind of want to hop into like the last question about AR-73,
Mhm.
and that question is, what makes you proud of AR-73 or proud to be a part of AR-73?
That's you. Everything.
We're a family. Like, if one person is really down, they know they can reach out. People have their back. if they're in trouble, I mean, I know people who didn't have something and people actually got together and helped them get it.
Yep.
Like everybody's got each other's backs no matter what. Even if they screw up on something big, like, yeah, we're going to say, hey, you screwed up, but we're still going to have your back.
Mhm.
That's a big thing.
And it is. And from, the 2 years that I've been here, I've seen people come and I've seen people go. I've seen people leave on good terms and bad terms and, just great terms. And I really don't know anybody, but maybe just less than a handful of people that actually just left on bad blood.
Yeah.
Fink and Chooch, Grim, Rat, they've all built a community that is not toxic.
Mhm.
They've built a wonderful and meaningful community. Everybody has their bad days. Everybody sometimes just gets too much on their plate, but at the end of the day or the next day, they all come back, they apologize, and that's just how things should be.
Mhm.
Like Rebel just said, somebody's having a bad day, somebody will reach out to you.
Yep.
And we notice if somebody's not active anymore.
Mhm.
Like if you notice, hey, so and so used to be on every single day in the regiment. It doesn't matter if it's Discord or the game. We notice that, and so not only one person reaches out, multiple do because they're like, hey, like, what's up?
Yep.
Like when we had that issue a while back of losing people and switching over, we had lost Mouse Rat
Mhm.
in that little funk, and that was one of my buddies, and so I kind of reached out to him when that happened, and I didn't hear from him for a long time, and he finally reached out to me and we talked. So we notice when certain people go missing, like Rebel, she doesn't play as much with her work schedule and how mine is. I don't play much either. So if we go missing for more than a week or 2 weeks, sometimes somebody reaches out to us and we're like,
People are blowing up our phone.
yeah, we're like, we're just working. Like, it's just, this is how it goes.
Because like me, I'm off every other week, and I'll work like Thursdays on my off weeks, and that's pretty much it. But every other week, I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I work 12-hour shifts, so I'm not really in the mood to get on the game.
Yeah.
Or not get off work because my job, if it wasn't for some coworkers, it wouldn't be as stressful.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the game, it does help relieve some of the stress, but I've also got family stuff going on, my own mental health stuff going on, and I want to focus on mine and his relationship and everything else. So it's hard to really balance that out. But when I'm off on my weekdays that I'm actually off, I'm on almost every single day.
Mhm.
And I'll spend like 8 hours, 12 hours, maybe a couple hours, just depends.
Yeah, it just depends on what it is. And you'll see us when I'm off and she's off, we'll be running together. We try to get everybody.
Yep.
And one of the biggest things too with the regiment is, and I'm not saying anything bad, when she first started playing, you could tell she was new. You could tell she was new to everything. So she wasn't sure on call outs and like certain guns to use and stuff. And then fast forward till now, she dropped 10 kills on sub pens
without even noticing that I dropped 10 last night.
So,
and I was really proud of that. Like I was kind of in my head last night because
yeah,
I've got stuff going on, and he kind of forced me to get on last night to help alleviate all that. And I just dropped 10 bodies like it was nothing.
So, and that's the thing with the regiment. It doesn't matter what's going on or what it is. We, over time of playing and getting to run with people, you get your own strategy of playing. And if somebody needs that time to play, we're all there.
Mhm.
Yep, last night, I'm not getting into anything. Stuff happened. When everything was said and done and clear, I turned on her Xbox, I turned on my PlayStation, and I made her get on.
Yep.
And what we do, we stayed up till 1:30 playing games just to help her. That's the whole thing with the regiment buddies. I didn't tell anybody what was going on, but we had a full party for the longest time. And that's the thing. Everybody has their own ways of escaping of stuff going on. Me, I play video games. It's an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, she needed the escape.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Everybody's there to help one another. And that's just how it's going to be from here past to future.
Yep.
So.
Nah, that's actually, you know, it's good because, you know, like you said, it's an escape. You know, everyone has their own escape. And, you know, see, me coming from, you know, the outside looking in, you know, I had no idea, you know, something was going on. You know, all I knew is that when I joined, I was like, hey, I'm not here to take it serious. I'm here to make people laugh. And I hope and pray that I made y'all laugh.
Yeah, you always do, and that's the thing. That's why I don't pick and choose who I play with. I know who's gonna make me laugh. I know who's gonna run serious, and I know just when to take it easy. Like if you're joining and Taliban's joining,
it's in the game. You already know as soon as you're joining, you're gonna be laughing.
Yeah, so we all know who has fun with, you know, who takes things seriously, and that's one of the funniest things is because if you get Han and Toby, and then you get, let's see, you have me, Han, and Toby, then you have Rebel, you, and Tally. That's a mixture right there of being serious and having a blast, and it's hard to pick which side to do. So I try to stay in the middle. I try to have fun, but at the same time, I try to have that, you know, serious side when it needs.
And like last night, you know, we were with Ninja when I first got on, and Ninja's always pretty serious. Like, yeah, he'll have his jokes and stuff, but most of the time he's pretty serious. Cannot team kill him or anything. And last night he was team killing everybody.
He was team killing everybody. He's like, oh, yep, my bad.
And like he doesn't even realize how funny and how awesome that made my night. Because like that right there, we kept giving him so much crap for it, and it was amazing.
That's good. You know, because, hey, I also remember that I team killed you because I got butthurt because cervix was popping off. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this interesting. I'll walk over to Rebel.
Come here. It just goes. Freaking got it. I was like, yo. Because we were on Tuscan, actually.
No, I had to.
And it was also on, what is that map? Not Radar. Paradise, where the bomb's on bottom A underneath the bunker. Me and you were staying up top B, and I was here, Vex, huh? What? Come here. What? And then all I hear is, mwah. All I hear. And then you just see him run away.
Yep. I mean, hey, I try, man. I try. You know, I try to make people, you know, laugh, have a good time. You know, that's just who I am. But nah, see, I hope that happened last night for the both of y'all. And if y'all are on tonight, guess what? It might happen again if I'm on. You never know.
Yeah, we're actually just watching House right now, just kind of relaxing. I got to work tomorrow, so I'm not going to be on as late. But I'm really not. I got to be up.
See, this man will tell me, oh, I'm not going to stay up gaming all night. So my first alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning. This dude, as my alarm is going off, all I hear, running into A now, look over, why are you still in the game? And then when my second alarm goes off at 5, he's like, all right, guys, I'm getting off here. Rebel's getting up. I gotta go.
It's like one of those, oh, I fucked up. Oh,
but I'm not gonna game all night.
Well, I really don't. If I'm off and I know I'm off, I'll stay up.
Like, what was it?
And kill
Friday night. Oh, I'm gonna get on with Ninja, and we're only gonna play until 2. He's up at 4:30, and I'm like, okay, sure.
I was up till 5, but that's just one of those things where I'll stay up and I'll game. And sometimes, yeah, I do lose track of time. I really don't pay attention. I really don't. And then by the time I look, next thing you know, I hear her alarm going off, and I'm like, oh, I fucked up. I fucked up. And it's not intentional, but it's just one of those things that, you know, here I've been getting to Sea of Thieves just to kind of have fun. And it does take time. But that game really takes a lot of time. It's not just something where you can hop on a boat and it takes, you know, 2 minutes to get to an island. It takes, you know, about 10 minutes, depending on where you're going. Mm-hmm. Then you got to loot, kill everything. Well, kill everything, loot, go to the next island. So you're probably looking at but just an hour for one mission in itself.
Yeah.
And but yeah.
Yeah, nah, see, like I said, you know, and also like you said about the escape, you know, I could kind of see that, you know, like for people who've been gaming for like a long time, they see as gaming as an escape, you know, having a bad day, rough time, you know, mental health through the roof, you know, they get on, they play the game, they laugh a little bit, have their serious moments, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, no,
That
man.
and it's just what it is. And you know, with every one of our regiment members, you almost will never have a bad time with them.
Yeah.
Now, if you get a 6-man and everybody's in a bad mood, I'm gonna slap every single person in there, cheer y'all up. But at the same time, you never know what people's going on in their lives. You don't know what's going on, and some people just aren't open with it. Now, yeah, sure, a week later they may come up like, yeah, sorry about such and such time. I was mad about this. It ain't no thing. Like,
Well, they'll bring up like, oh hey, remember that game that I played with you like 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I'm sorry for being this way. Like, what game?
yeah, and it's just, you know, it's just something you just forget because you just let it go. And if people don't want to talk, they don't want to talk. So I'm not gonna bring it up. Like, it's all cool. Like, I get it. We all have bad days.
Oh yeah. All right, so like I said, stepping away from the AR-73 questions, you know.
Sure.
Let's hear about y'all. How'd y'all meet? How'd that happen? Ooh.
Yes, guys.
Ooh, shit.
Wow. Wow.
So
I mean, I'll do it.
that's fun. So, I am actually a local truck driver, and I used to work for a company called M&W. And they're a company based out of Nashville. Well, one night I went up to a company called A.O. Smith to drop off. I don't remember if I was.
You were dropping off an empty.
I was, yeah, I was
picking up
picking
a
up
loaded because we send out water heaters because I worked at A.O. Smith as top flight security of the world.
Yep, that's where I met her. Was her being a security guard,
Yep.
and it was kind of funny because we both really couldn't read each other.
Like we were flirting, but we didn't know if the other person
Yeah.
was flirting back. And I had a weird schedule to where Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I work days 6 to 2, and then my Thursdays I would work 2 to 10 or 10 to 6, one of those.
Yep.
I don't really remember what shift I was really on, and I was getting switched to day shift because that's what I wanted. Because my grandfather, he was going through cancer, and I wanted to be with him more.
Yeah.
So I was getting moved to having 312s and off most of the week. And that really worked out so I could actually spend some time with him. And I was telling him, because him and another one of his coworkers, we all had a blast every time they came in. Like, we'd all joke around, talk trash, everything. And I was telling him, and he kind of got butthurt about it.
Ooh.
Like, hey, can I get your snap? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, this one here.
And we just
yeah.
kind of kept talking.
Yeah, it just went from there, and you know, like I said, neither one of us knew, you know, who was if we were flirting or not with each other, so it was kind of hard to base it off that.
And then I was up here every weekend, spending the weekend.
And that is a 3.5-hour drive one way.
Jesus.
I would leave Friday night after work, which is at 6 p.m. Spend the entire weekend. I had a friend take care of my dog, and I come back either Sunday night or Monday morning.
Yep. And then, like, that's the thing too. If I happen to start work at the same time she's leaving work, we would try to meet in the middle, grab lunch or grab dinner, and then she would head to the house here. And then I would continue working and be home at anywhere from 2.
Or if I was off, I'd meet up with him outside of A.O. Smith, say hey.
Yeah.
I'd bring Rex up there every now and again.
So that's just pretty much how it came to be, and here we are.
Wow. So how long have y'all been together?
Almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
I've
a
known
year.
him for a year and a half,
Mm-hmm.
but almost dating. In September, it'll be like a year.
Mhm. Wow. Almost a year, man. Well, congratulations on that, for real.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
so you said you was a truck driver. How long have you been doing that whole truck driving thing?
Too fucking long.
Too long.
God, almost 3, almost 4 years.
Wow. Mm.
And like how that came to be was, I've had a lot of jobs. A lot. No, you're laughing, but I've had a lot. I can't count on
Name a place in Gatlinburg, he's worked there.
Yep, literally. You can name any place in Gatlinburg, and I'm almost positive I worked there. Let's see here. From the time I was 14, my first job was Chick-fil-A, and then by the time I decided to go truck driving, I was the security guard. Go figure.
Oh wow.
I was actually working at a place down here called Denso as security guard. I was a rover, which is just a roaming unit. And that's when I found out that Liam, my son, was gonna be here.
Wow.
And after that, something really needed to change. And I didn't like the fact that I was living paycheck to paycheck, So I took the 3 or 4 weeks to get, schooling done. Took that month of training when I actually got my CDL. And then to really, solidify being a local driver, I did 2 years and I think a month over the road.
Yeah.
So I would work.
I worked a year with M&W.
Yeah. Well, that was after Total.
Yeah.
So my first company was Total Transportation of Mississippi. Good company, great company. They'll work with you on stuff. Certain things, like every other trucking company, every other job, they have their hooks.
Yeah.
So my schedule for over the road, when I got my very last co-driver, his name was Raph. Good guy, great guy. I've been driving for 30 some odd years.
Jesus.
We would work a month and like a week, like a month and some change to be home for a week and a half or at most 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because the rule with driving is for every week you work, you get 1 day off. So me and him, we would push, there'd be weeks where we'd have 10,000 miles under our belts. Other weeks it'd be 75. So we would work anywhere from 6,500 miles to close to 10,000 miles a week.
Man.
And about that time, pretty much after COVID hit, I was in California when it first became a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it just kind of got to the point where I just wanted to be home.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you're out on the road, you really see how things are. And don't get me wrong, driving is great. I absolutely love to drive. Ask her. It's a great escape too. I drove at night, so there's not a whole lot of things I could see. You really start thinking about stuff. And one thing that hit home was I missed, some time with my son.
Yeah.
I don't think
Missed a lot of firsts.
Yep, a lot of first things, but at the end of the day, I was doing this for him.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong. When you have your CDLA, you will always have a job. There's nothing out there that you won't be able to do.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm ever going to stray from the driving industry unless something major happens with it and it's just no longer viable. But until that day comes, I'm always going to be a driver.
Yeah.
And as much as she's hearing me talk about it, as much as she deals with it, she's contemplating on getting hers. And we're going to try to work it out to where we can team drive over the road, do a year or 2 years, whatever she wants to do, save up money, and then both of us come home and I still go local. She can do whatever she wants. If she wants to be local, then that's fine too.
I'll either do local or I can get in with any warehouse around here and become a yard dog. Which yard dogs, they look for those who actually have their CDL, everything. And as much as I hate truck drivers, because I deal with them for 12 hours a day, I meet all kinds of different people. Some suck, some are awesome, some you can't understand.
Yeah.
I know how to deal with dispatchers because I'm on the phone with dispatchers almost every single day because they don't understand the point of if you're late for your appointment or you aren't on time for your appointment, we got to fit you in. And dispatchers will call like 20 times in a span of 1 hour.
Yep.
Like, hey, my driver's been here since this time. No, your driver's been here 20 minutes. They missed their appointment. They'll get him when they get in.
Yeah.
Like, it's annoying, but I know not every company is that bad.
And driving isn't for everybody. It's a huge strain on mental health, on home time. It takes a lot, and it's a lot to deal with and cope with.
And you're back.
It is, yeah. I'm not even joking. One of my jobs, I used to work for a company called Knoxville Wholesale Furniture where I delivered furniture. Did that for a little while, messed up my back. Now I'm at another job that takes a strain on your back because all you do is sit.
Mm-hmm.
And people will laugh like, well, it ain't that bad. It doesn't really do anything. No, it does.
Yeah.
It really hurts. There's some nights where I wake up and my lower back's just killing me from it.
Yeah.
You know, these guys that you see that have been driving for 40 years that are, 60, 70 years old, they can barely walk because of their back. That's going to be me. And it's just not for everybody, but the payout's worth it. Having that A class is worth it because, like I said, you're always going to need a driver. And there is an actual, right by us, there's an Amazon warehouse that's opening up. And if we can time all of this right and get her some time on the road, by the time we get back, hopefully it's open and we both can become, yard dogs for them. She worked day shift or me night shift or vice versa, or at the same time. At that point, we wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, that's just one of those things. You have consistency with a CDL. I'm going to work at McDonald's or then I'm going to go work at a warehouse. It's just not, it's two different things. At least with driving, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, with the whole driving experience, truck drivers, I've had a lot of close friends who have been truck drivers, and the whole back situation, that's something big, because like you said, you're just sitting there, that's it, for like long countless hours. You're sitting and driving and having to do this and that, and a lot of my friends, their dads also did the truck driving. They would have to have back surgery, and I just feel for them, and I feel for you because I me, I don't want you to have to go through that experience, because that right there is just
it's bound to happen. But at the same time, every job almost has its hazards.
Yep.
Some of them are more physical than other ones are. Some people don't call it, but truck driving is a blue-collar job.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the industry. Yeah, sure, I'm not an oil rig worker. I don't work on the oil fields. I don't do certain things, but at the same time, it's a blue-collar job.
Yep.
And, you sit. So if you're an over-the-road driver, let's just put it this way. I used to leave Olive Branch, Mississippi, right out of Nashville, right outside of Memphis, and I would drive to pretty much right outside Colorado in one shift. That's almost 12 hours. I would get as far as I could for 12 hours, sleep for 10, wake up, and just do it all over again.
Yeah.
So it does take a stroll, but don't get me wrong, you see cool things, you make a lot of money. But at the end of the day, it's like, is it really worth it to miss the home time and family time? But then you also have that side thought of I'm providing for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. And something that shocked me last night, I had no idea, and that was Rebel being a security guard. Talk about that. Because that threw me for a loop.
What do you think that I did?
So what?
What do you think that I did?
I have no idea. You could have been like one of those people who took pictures of their feet and sold it online, you know? Only feet, you know?
I mean, I could go to Feed Finder right now, upload feet pics. That could be a side job.
And you're right.
Yeah, I've been a security guard for 3 years now. Before that, I was working at a tattoo shop and a Food Lion doing retail. And before then, I was living in Japan for 3 years. And when I was in Japan, I was actually doing my own piercings at a home-based shop. Had all the proper certificates, everything. I learned how to do piercings while I was over there. Yeah, I know they're taboo and stuff, but there was actually one shop outside of base that would actually do piercings until the Japanese government shut them down because they don't believe in tattoos and piercings. Now, which I'm glad that they did, they no longer say it's taboo. They're actually able to do a lot more, and a lot more people are actually getting involved in that industry.
Man. Okay, so you just threw me for a loop again. You said Japan?
Yeah, I lived there
Wow.
for 3 years.
Wow. Talk a little bit about
Yeah,
that. That's interesting.
My ex-husband was in the Air Force, and
Now she's with a retard like me.
yeah, we got a divorce, and I moved back to Tennessee. He's up in Delaware, and we're still friends and stuff because, you know, we don't have any bad blood against each other. Like, we're better off as friends. And when I moved back home, my aunt actually helped me get my job at Food Lion, and they paid complete trash money. And that's when my mom was like, hey, like, why don't you work at A.O. Smith? Like, you can get a job inside the warehouse itself, get on the production line. And then I call her my aunt, but she's actually a family friend. Her mom was like, hey, like, there's an opening with security if you want to get in with it. And nobody knew who my parents were, because my parents have been working at A.O. Smith for 20 plus years. My dad started out in the production line and worked his way up, and now he is trying to actually get his own department. And let's see, he'll be building a data management department from the ground up and have total control over it. And my mom does essentially IT. So everybody there knows both of my parents, and since I don't have their last name anymore, I kept my old married name since all my documents were Allen. And when I started working there, nobody knew who I was except for those who saw me grow up, because I've been around A.O. Smith since I was basically born.
Yeah.
I was there during family days. I would come up after school. My parents would bring me up there if they just wanted me to be up there to spend time with them. And then more people knew, like, oh, your parents are such and such. And I'm like, yep, that's me.
Wow. That's crazy. Like I said, you know, like I tell a lot of people when I do these little types of interview type things, you learn a lot. You learn a lot. You know, I had no idea about that. It's kind of it's interesting and cool. You know, and it's also, you know, nice to learn about, you know, how people meet each other. I mean, whenever y'all get the time, go watch the interview I did with Chooch. That was amazing. It was amazing, and I believe y'all will enjoy that as well.
Oh yeah, we love Chooch, man. He's
Oh, yeah.
he's like the grandfather
He is.
of AR. He's easy to talk to. He's easy to get along with. Just don't put on his bad side. That's all.
Yeah. No, you're
And
right.
we never really know how much family time and stress council really goes through until 4th of July weekend. I was on my phone. Like, I had went to Georgia to go see my friend graduate from what is it? Basically tech school-ish. Because they already did basic and they were graduating from their second schooling. And then I turned around, got him, and then drove to my parents' house, which is 3.5 hours away. And on that time, I was on my phone every second. Like, I didn't even get to spend 4th of July with my actual parents and actually enjoy that time with them. Because we were dealing with some issues with the regiment. And it put into perspective, like, how much they really go through, how much time they lose.
And that's just the stuff
Everything.
that we know behind
Yeah.
the scenes. We don't know what really goes on. So, we try to handle what we can without involving them.
Yeah.
And then obviously, if we can't come to a decision or figure out what's going on, then yeah, we'll reach out to them. But that's, DEFCON 5.
Yeah.
That's why that the platoons are starting to become a thing now, because that alleviates that stress from them, because they can actually enjoy stuff. Because, like with Chooch, Mama Chooch only gets the weekends because she's out doing her thing with work, he's out doing his thing with work. They don't really get that much time together. So he actually gets to spend more time with them. Fink can actually enjoy time with his kids, even though I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to sometimes. And of course, everybody else, like, everybody's got a life outside of the regiment. And with the platoons, now it falls on to the generals, the captains, and the lieutenants instead of automatically going to council.
Yep. And that's, because I don't know who came up with it. I don't know if it was you or Silent, or y'all just both came together and decided to start this whole thing back up. But I think it's a great idea that y'all did.
I think it was council that decided to start putting it back into effect, because when I first joined, it was at the end of platoons.
Yeah.
And then I actually don't know why the platoon stopped in the first place. And then, of course, we lost all those members, and it kind of dwindled down the numbers. So we had really no reason to have those platoons, because I know before there was, 4 platoons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I had one with Fink, and that was Mad Dogs.
Yep.
That was where I was general. Fink was council for us. I was general. DJ...
Was GOA?
No, he was beneath me. And then it was Shady. Thick Shady. He was captain. The lieutenant was Thick Shady.
Yep.
And but our platoon was actually the smallest one.
And I was the last one.
And that's just the thing, it's hard to divvy up members when you have just an odd amount, but we had so many.
Yeah.
Yep. But
We I think that almost 100 people.
And then that whole coup that happened, that dwindled down the numbers, and they were going through, okay, who's not even active anymore? Who hasn't even talked to anybody in a year, 6 months, 2 years, all kinds of stuff, and that really messed with the numbers more.
Yep.
And now we're back down, and we're slowly building.
That's all we can do.
Get there.
But nah, I like I said, it was a great idea to bring the 2 platoons back. I think that was a very smart decision, and hopefully we can do something fun with it, like have a platoon battle, because unfortunately for me, I never got to experience a platoon battle.
Yeah, me and Steph are gonna get together about that, but the only issue is teams. Because it's going to be very unfair to have you, Vex, Han, and Toby. Toby's not with me. He's with Kazuka.
Toby is with us.
Tren is with me. Trev's pretty good.
Trev's going to be pretty good, but pretty much we're just trying to divvy it up to where
it's not one good
it's balanced
person's team against another good team. It needs to be equal.
Yeah.
And then
so we got to figure out team managers and stuff.
And then of course, yeah, sure, we could put best versus best, for stuff like that, and and we can go from there, and then that way, that's what we could do is do best versus best, and then figure out after that for the next squad to go up, put whoever is just on the best team, put one from them into the other, and then just keep switching it.
Yep.
swap somebody out.
Like have them pick a number 1 through, so whatever.
Yeah, and then that way it's just fair for everybody because, yeah, sure, it's going to be all about fun, but then it reverts back to what I said a while ago. You just don't want to decimate people, because it's gonna be fun, but people won't say it. It's gonna hurt them.
Yeah.
That we didn't.
And really, it's only going to be fun for the people who are winning. It's not going to be fun for those who are losing. So we got to make sure it's balanced out. Everybody has a good time, everything like that. We also got to make sure, and we already know it's not going to be an issue, but everybody knows everybody else's routes, their Twitches, everything.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure, like, yeah, you can be streaming, but don't go into the other person's stream.
Yeah.
Like, you got to fight fair.
No. See, if it ever comes to that, screw it. I'm not gonna show the game. I'm just gonna show my face the whole time, and they're just gonna hear the background noise, and I'm just gonna go like that. Ain't nobody gonna be cheating. Oh, but no, man. Just to wrap it up a little bit, cause it's been an hour. Has not felt like an hour, but it's been an hour. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, it's been 1 hour and 1 minute.
Oh. Oh yeah, food.
Yeah. But nah, just wrap it up, man. Thank y'all for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us.
To learn a little bit about y'all, and AR-73, and then the love story that it is.
See, I'm gonna brag on you a little bit, Glory. You do a lot for us.
You do
a lot more than I have seen people say they're gonna do, and that's one reason we really do appreciate you. And we appreciate you, everything that you do. And you really don't get enough praise for it. You help so many people out with their Streamlabs. You even tried to help me, but unfortunately I'm on console, so there's only X amount that I can actually do.
Yeah.
You do a lot of reach outs. You do the interviews. You put clips together. And I still got to go back and watch some of those because I got to find some of my clips that I've sent you. And you just do all this stuff, and you get a little bit of praise, but you need so much more of it. And you do a lot of stuff with the mental health for everybody. And like I said, I'm not one for religion, but I don't judge anybody for it. At the end of the day, you're that person people will look forward to for either your daily or every other day post in the mental health thing.
Yeah.
And it helps a lot more people than you think, because some people could just wake up in a bad mood. Look, Glory posted in mental health. Even that slightest thing can make their day just that much better.
And like when I was going through that stuff
it's been an hour. Xbox just turned off.
With my friend, and I didn't know what to do because they're back in drugs and stuff. You reached out to me and I learned some stuff about you. You helped me figure out what the best action was to help my friend and stuff. And unfortunately, I don't talk to that friend anymore, and it kind of sucks. But at the same time, I don't need that in my life.
Yeah.
And I've been friends with him since 6th grade. And it sucks to see somebody go through that stuff, and you try to help as much as you can. But I mean, 10 years ago, I never thought, they'd go through that stuff.
Yeah.
And I first helped them get clean the first time, and now it's just, you realize you can only do so much for people.
You're right. So, thank you for that. It means a lot. It's just, this is how I am, with the whole mental health thing. I never had anyone to reach out, when I was going through my stuff. So I wanted to just do that for other people. And at the end of the day, like I tell everyone else, I take no credit for what I do. It's not me. I give it all to the good Lord, because he's the one that put it in my heart to do so. He told me to help those, and I just do it the best of my ability. And at the end of the day, it's all praise to him.
Yeah, like yesterday in our meeting, I caught you off guard so hard with what I said. And when I said, your comic book character, I don't, people make fun of religion, But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna fully disrespect your religion. That is your thing. I'm not gonna do that. You don't push it on anybody. You're there if somebody needs it, if somebody wants it,
Yep.
and that is a huge respect thing. But yeah, we all make jokes and stuff. Even
Yeah.
you were popping off with jokes on it, and that's just how things are.
Oh, yeah.
And what people need is not these uptight Bible thumpers.
Pretentious.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
pretentious.
Uptight Bible thumpers.
Like, it's me.
Yeah.
You can't say you're devout to God and then push your religion on people, because that's not what he's about.
Nope.
No,
You follow at your own will.
Yep.
You don't force people.
and that's the thing with you. You actually make it fun for people, and you're there if somebody needs it. You're not reaching. You're just straight up not reaching,
Yep.
and that's what people like and enjoy. I don't know anybody's religious beliefs. I don't ever get into it with them because that is their own world.
Mhm.
Um, me, I guess you could say, paganism, I guess, for me, but that's just me. I tried looking for stuff, and at first I was non-biased for anything. I didn't really look at anything. I had questions, and anytime I asked questions from churches, I would either be asked to leave or be told that I was going to burn in hell for even questioning them.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that's not what you do. So I started looking at other religions, and the main ones that stuck out were pagans.
Mhm.
Everybody has their own beliefs, and they are willing to answer questions you have. They're not just going to turn you away and tell you you're going to burn in hell. And that's the thing that that's the one thing you really don't want, because that's what makes people not believe.
Yep.
Like, I'm not religious myself, but I've looked at several religions and stuff, and I've even read the Satanic Bible just because I wanted to know what they were about. Because everybody thinks, oh, Satanist, like, you want Satan to rise up, kill goats, murder babies. No, that's not what they're about. Like,
And
if you've ever actually read the 10 Commandments from Satan's Satanic Bible, it's about no raping, don't hurt children, don't steal,
It's
kick
rather
somebody out of your house if you don't like them or if they disobey your respect.
it's more down to earth than the actual 10 Commandments in the Bible is. It's really interesting because I've never read the whole thing, but I've looked into it.
Mhm.
It's rather interesting to see what the Satanic Bible shows you versus what the Bible shows you. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on the Bible, like, not at all. But if you notice, the Bible is always changing.
Yep.
They're always taking stuff out that doesn't fit their narrative. And
Or they'll only read part of a passage instead of a full passage to
Right.
really get a message out
get the
there.
message out. They only get a third or like a quarter of the message versus what the whole passage is. And there's not a whole lot that we can do about it. You know this. We live in the Bible Belt. You know this, and you know how those people are.
Mm-hmm.
You know just how it is with them. They're gonna quote one part of it, and I'm not big on it, but I know I know that's not what the passage says.
Yeah.
I just know. You love thy neighbor. Sure, I may be an asshole. She knows this. I'm an asshole for certain things, but I'm not a complete asshole. Somebody was broke down on our road the other day. She drove by just to kind of get around because he was taking up the whole road, and it wasn't his fault. But I stopped and I checked on him.
Yeah.
She pulled over too. I'm not just gonna let somebody either broke down or stuff like that.
Yep.
All these other people. Like, good example. Yesterday, I had an issue with a lady at a restaurant called Culver's.
And luckily I wasn't there because I was going through my stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was ready to fight somebody.
And it was about that time they all got out of church. Me and my son had sat down, and she came over and was just yelling at us, pretty much belittling me. You can belittle me all you want. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I'm just going to laugh with you. That's fine. But she told me that she needed to take my unholy bastard child and leave. Go sit outside with the rest of the trash.
Yeah.
That's not what that's not what you do. And yeah, I know if she was there, it'd take everything in me to
to
even,
pull me back.
yeah.
Because I would have beat her. Because I don't care who you are, old, young, black, white, Asian, Muslim, anything. I don't care who you are. You're not going to say that stuff to a child or about a child in front of said child.
Yeah.
Especially when father or their mother or just whoever it is, you know, bonus mom, whoever, you know, it's just you don't do that. And luckily I had help when I was there, and it was, you know, we live like a mile from the airport, and a lot of the Air Force pilots live around here and they go to Culver's.
Yeah.
Luckily they were there with me, and they witnessed the whole thing from the time we sat down till that happened, and they had my back on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they even said, you know, that's not what you do. That's not how you handle things. And, you know, military, they're big on religion as well. Granted, yes, they kind of force it on you, but these guys, you could tell these guys were born in the South. You knew. Put it this way, I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
They said that if the lady doesn't calm down because her son or whoever it was want to get involved, I mean, he was probably 5'5", maybe 110 pounds soaking wet. And he was getting belligerent with me. I'm 6'2", like almost 300 pounds.
Yeah.
60.
Oh, yeah. I did get reweighed. Yeah, so 260, 270, somewhere there. And their smallest guy, they even said they'll get their weakest guy. He had almost, 6-7 inches on me and probably a couple hundred more pounds than I did. He was a big guy.
Yeah.
And every one of them agreed, you just don't do that. That's not how you do things.
Yep.
It's not how you present yourself. They said I handled it well. And like I even told her, she's luckily I was in a decent mood.
Yeah.
You know, I was out having...
And he's not going to fight in front of Liam.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. You know, now if somebody shows me and actually starts hitting me, then yeah, I'm...
But even Liam, because he was telling me, even when the chick said this stuff, Liam goes...
Yeah, so he looked at her, and then he looked at me, and he's very animated with his face. He looks at her, and then he looks at me, and he goes...
Like, Liam knows what's up.
He ain't see nothing, he ain't hear nothing.
He knows, like, if something goes down, he don't speak English.
Yeah, he's that type, but at the same time, I'm not going to do that, because it's not a good role model.
Now me, I would have told him, grab Liam, go outside, I've got this.
She wouldn't even have to tell me that. If something happened, I'm going to, hey, we're going to go outside for a second.
Because he won't hit a female unless they hit like a man and they want to get fought like a man.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, because, you know, everybody always talks about, oh, well, you can't hit females. Why? If I'm full on hitting him in the face and everything else, and I'm throwing punches like I'm a grown 6'5" man, hit me like a man.
Mm.
Because it's all equality.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to step up, you might as well step up and get what's coming.
Yeah,
She knows not to hurt one. I don't feel pain.
Yeah.
She hates it. She hates it. I don't feel pain. She hates it.
Because, like, I'm a nibbler, and, like, I'll bite him and stuff, and he's like, what are you doing?
And she leaves marks. She does all that stuff, and I have no problem with it because it's adorable. It's cuteness, aggression.
Yeah.
And she's like, you don't feel that? I'm like, what are you doing? I look down, and
And I'll keep pressing harder and harder, and he still doesn't feel it. It doesn't matter what I do.
No. See, with that whole thing is, it's like this. That was a bad example. What y'all been through, what y'all saw was a bad example.
That is.
And don't get me wrong, we know there's good apples out there. We know that.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, I've been to an all-black church before because my best friend, she was
That's
black.
the best kind. That is the best kind. That is the best kind.
They didn't even care that I was white. Like, I was the only white person there.
They don't.
And they acted like I was their granddaughter.
Yep.
They don't judge.
They
That's the
don't.
best thing. Judgment free zone. You're there to have a good time, and that can start at 10 o'clock, and you're going to be singing till 2 o'clock.
Like,
Amen.
I'd rather
I swear to God.
house than a white family's house because, like, old black ladies,
Mhm.
Oh,
they love you.
yeah, with all
Oh,
honey,
you baby.
baby, sugar. That's the best feeling in the world. Oh, baby, oh, child, you good?
Like,
You're just like
old white ladies, They'll judge you, they'll hate you, they'll call you every name in the book. Now, granted, not my grandmother, because my grandmother, she'll pick up strays. Like, my ex, she'll still ask about him, and she's like, well, if he ever needs anything, tell him to come on by, I'll make him a plate of food. And, like, as soon as you walk in the door, are you hungry? Do you want a snack? Are you thirsty?
Yeah,
Yeah, she,
And, like, 5 minutes after you already eat.
yeah,
Are you hungry? Do you want more? Do you want a snack?
you're like, nah, I'm good, I'm full.
yeah. But see, no,
Like, it's
like that thing. For me, like it breaks my heart hearing that. Not hearing that, situations like that happen on a daily. It's happened to me before, and I'm a Christian, but it's because I got judged by the way I talk, by the way I act, by the way I dress. It's happened
It's just how
before.
you're raised. If you weren't raised to their aspect or to their standards or whatever it is that they believe in their eyes, you're nothing compared to them, which I'm almost positive in the Bible you treat everybody with respect. Like I said, I've never actually read the Bible cover to cover, but it's stuff that I've heard from other ones that actually do want to teach you and that are willing to teach you the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing that I remember. You treat everybody with respect. Everybody has their own way of life. It doesn't matter if they come in and let's just use Glory, the way he talks, the way he dresses, and stuff like that.
I still say he's a black guy who's just white.
Yes,
I'm
a reverse Oreo.
And it's like bikers. They get so much trash. Like, I grew up around bikers. My dad's a biker. My mom's kind of a biker. She's not as hardcore as my dad. But I've grown up around biker gangs and everything. They get so much hate. Like, they're covered in tattoos. They wear leather jackets. They got these huge Harleys, customs, everything. But they are the sweetest souls.
They're one of the people you really don't want to mess with.
Like, a lot of the biker groups, they'll get together and they'll help families who lost everything in a fire, in a flood, bankruptcy, and they'll even help children who were raped. Like, there's a lot of videos out there that even prove that, because they go with the child to court. They got their own custom leather jacket for the child, and they'll stand in front of that predator and block that child from seeing them.
Yeah.
So they don't have to look into those eyes.
These are little guys. These are some
They're
big,
massive.
They will protect that child. They will protect anybody because that's how they are. They protect everybody.
They'll help you. If you have to call them at 2 a.m., it don't matter how far away you are, they're coming. And they'll got a whole gang of them coming with them.
No less than 100 people.
Yep.
And that's just small.
I mean, hey, before I met Jesus, if you called me at 2 a.m. and you needed help, hey, me and my boys, we coming, but we strapped. Hey, I'm still strapped, bro. I got my strap over here. I'm a Christian, but hey, guess what? I got my gun right there. So that's all I gotta say.
Here, you showed us yours yesterday?
Still.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, like, even my dad, like, before I moved down here to live with Vex, we loaded up the U-Haul, and I was driving my car, and he was falling behind me in the U-Haul, and some dude took out the mirror in the U-Haul, and he took off.
Yep.
Yeah.
He ran away with everything, and I chased him like a good 10 miles, 5 miles, something like that, all the way basically to my parents' house, and my dad rolled up with his gun and made sure it was showed.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go, Glory.
Say, look, strapped, bro. He's strapped.
Always, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Hey, always gotta be strapped, my guy.
Always. Yeah, you know how much I picked this up?
Always.
What do you think? What do you think I paid for this one?
Probably like 500, 7.
800 with the sight.
That ain't bad. You got a better deal. You got a better deal than I did.
800 with the sight, and I paid 300 for 3 boxes of ammo.
Dang.
See, I have 2 guns. I have my ghetto gun, and then I have my Cammy.
Yeah, she got the half point.
5.9 mil. I do.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. But yeah, no.
We went.
Just to talk a little bit about all that. To wrap that whole little thing up, is it's just from my standpoint, as me being a believer and a Christian, and like you said, Cervix, it's in Scripture.
Yeah.
Treat your enemies as you would treat yourself. Treat others like you would treat yourself. And see, you can learn this, right? There's one scripture that if that Bible thumping lady wanted to come and judge you and your child again, tell her to read Matthew 7:1, and she reads that right in front of you. If she read it right in front of you, she would probably shut up and walk out.
Oh, they got kicked out.
Because
Yeah,
it says not to judge.
Oh yeah.
It's exactly what it says. It says you shall not judge, or you shall be judged back.
Yep.
People don't realize that. That's why I don't judge people unless if I'm goofing around with you.
Right.